Welcome back to Nifty 50 Photographers. In today's video I'm going to talk about another focusing technique which is really useful for things like landscapes, food photography and close-ups. And that technique is using the live view on your display, magnifying up the display so you can really see the fine detail and make sure your focus is pin sharp. If you're new to this channel, I'm Richard Gill. I'm a professional photographer, and on here I share tips and tricks on how to help you take better photos. If that sounds like something you're interested in, please consider subscribing. Now, I'm going to show you this technique, and I'm going to do a food shot actually. And you don't need to have expensive macro lenses to do this. One low-cost solution is to use simply an extension tube, sometimes called a macro tube. And you put those on behind your lens. I'll show you how we do that in just a moment, and that'll help you get more magnification from your lens. And so let's go and take a photo and see how that comes out. So if you're going to use extension tubes, then you need to get those fitted onto your lens, and you would mount them just as you would normally mount your lens onto a camera. So look for the on here we've got a little alignment dot, and I'll line those up. And then I've also got some little alignment marks here, which I'll line up with my alignment mark on the camera. And there you have it, all set up, ready to go. Now if you've got a macro lens, that's great for the kind of shot we're going to do today, but this is a nice cheap alternative and still give you great results. So what we've got set up here is some nice artisan tomatoes. We're going to do a little food close-up shot, and I've set those up in front of a nice east-facing window. So there's no harsh light, there's just a nice soft light falling onto those from the window. Now there's a few settings you need to take care of on your camera, so let me go through those with you. So the first thing you need to do on the Sony A7, actually the live view will come on straight away because it's got that display on the back. If you haven't got that, then put your live view button on. Now in the case of my Sony, I've got it set up to focus magnify when I go into manual focus. First thing you want to make sure is you've got your camera into manual focus mode. Then the next thing I'm going to do, this is on the first set of menus, but it's on page 13, is to go to the focus magnifier. And what I want is to do this initial focus magnification, and you can set that to a value you like. Now I've got it set to 5.9 because I want it to blow up the scene. If you set it to 1, obviously it'll just give you a 1-to-1 representation. So I recommend setting that to 5.9. So now when I go into manual focus, it'll automatically give me a zoomed in picture. So I'll show you what I mean. So if you see the scene now, as I zoom in, I've now got a close-up on one of the little stems. And furthermore, if I press the little joystick here, I can go to an even higher magnification. It's now gone to 11.7, and by just moving the you'll see in this bottom little square here there's a bright orange square, and that shows you where you are in the image, so I can move that around to the point I want. And now I can really fine-tune my focus because I'm looking at this at 11.7 times magnification, so I know that'll be super sharp. What other settings have I got? So I'm setting my camera to a very narrow aperture. I've actually got it set to f18 in this case, but I would recommend you start at least at f8. and that's because in this close-up scene I want everything to be in focus from the sort of front of the scene here right over here to the back as well, so right over to this area. And the other thing I'll do, I've got my camera obviously set up on a tripod. I'm going to make sure that I've got that set on a 2-second timer so that I don't get any camera shake. When you're doing food photography, a lot of it is about getting the composition exactly as you want. And the beauty of a live view display is you can play around with your scene till you've got something that you find pleasing. I'm just trying to line up this little bit of the vine here with the corner of the shot, so I'm bringing that right into the frame. When I'm happy with my composition, I'll then go into focus. Now, because I've set this initial focus magnification, when I touch the focus ring, it automatically zooms in. Now what I'm going to do is move around the scene, and you'll see this little orange cursor moving. I want something fairly much in the center, but I also need, it's helpful if you can find something with a little bit of definition, a bit of a sharp edge, so that you can see the edge of this bit of vine there to allow me to make sure my shot is perfectly in focus. I get it somewhere close, I then press the little joystick button and it goes up another magnification amount to 11.7 in this case, and I can just fine tune that a little bit, and now I can go back, check my shot and take the picture. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a like, and I'd love to see some of your photos. You could share those in the Nifty 50 Photographers Facebook group, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. Now, if there's anything you found particularly struggling or need extra advice on, why not leave me a comment, and I'll do my best to answer that and point you in the right direction. Now, I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.